Limited atonement. What a bunch of BS. Limited atonement. I mean, how disgusting can you get? Anyone to believe that that is Christianity? Anyone who believes that that is the grace gospel, the grace message, Calvinism is the grace message, Calvinism is Christianity. Anybody but believes that needs to have their head examined.
This is a quote from Spurgeon that I have modified. Greg, you have said that we limit the atonement of Christ because we say that Christ has not made a satisfaction for all men, or all men would be saved. Now our reply to this is that on the other hand, it is you, Greg, and the rest of you easy-believe Arminians who limit it. We do not. You all say Christ died for all men, but I ask you what you mean by it. Did Christ die so as to secure the salvation of all men? You say, no, certainly not. I ask you the next question. Did Christ die so as to secure the salvation of any man in particular? You answer no. You are obliged to admit this if you are consistent. You say no, Christ has died that any man may be saved if, and then follows certain conditions of salvation, such as free will decision to believe, or maybe the sinner's prayer. We say then, we go back to the old statement, Christ did not die so as beyond a doubt to secure the salvation of anybody, did he? You must say no. You are obliged to say so, for you believe that Christ died for all men, yet many, many still die in their sins and perish. Now, who is it that limits the death of Christ? Why, you do. You say that Christ did not die so as to infallibly secure the salvation of anybody. We beg your pardon. When you say we limit Christ's death, we say, no, my dear sir, it is you that do it. We say Christ so died that he infallibly secured the salvation of a multitude that no man can number, who through Christ's death not only may be saved, but are saved, must be saved, and cannot by any possibility run the hazard of being anything but saved. You are welcome to your atonement. You may keep it. We will never renounce ours for the sake of it. In fact, you, Greg, limit the atonement far worse than we do, because we limit its scope, but you limit its power and subject it to the almighty free will of man. You say, well, what kind of God would not have died for every single person? Well, I ask you, what kind of God would have left the most important thing in the universe in the hands of totally depraved man? Dead in trespasses and sins, and we walk according to the course of this world, and are by nature the children of wrath. We were shapen in iniquity, and in sin did our mothers conceive us. The wickedness of man is great in the earth, and every imagination of the thoughts of his heart are only evil continually. Man's heart is deceitful above all things, and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds are evil. The carnal mind is enmity against God. It is not subject to the law of God, neither indeed can be. So then, they that are in the flesh cannot please God. The natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. How much more abominable and filthy is man, which drinketh iniquity like water. We are all as an unclean thing, and all our righteousness is as filthy rags. We are all under sin. As it is written, there is none righteous, no, not one. There is none that understandeth, there is none that seeketh after God. We are all gone out of the way. We are together become unprofitable. There is none that doeth good, no, not one. Our throat is an open sepulchre, and with our tongues we have used deceit. The poisons of asp are under our lips. Our mouth is full of cursing and bitterness. There is no fear of God before our eyes. What kind of God would leave salvation up to a man like this? It is impossible for a man so twisted as the one just described to make a right decision. You say free will? Look at the bondage this man is in. There is nothing free about him. Free will? Huh.
Jesus Christ died for everyone. And you're an idiot to think that he didn't.
Okay, back to Spurgeon. Now, beloved, when you hear anyone laughing or jeering at limited atonement, you may tell him this. General atonement is like a great wide bridge with only half an arch. It does not go across a stream. It only professes to go halfway. It does not secure the salvation of anybody. Now I had rather put my foot upon a bridge as narrow as Hungerford, which went all the way across, than on a bridge that was as wide as the world and did not go all the way across the stream.
All. Say that with me. All.
I am told it is my duty to say that all men have been redeemed, and I am told that there is scriptural warrant for it, who gave himself a ransom for all, to be testified in due time. Now, that looks like a very, very great argument indeed on the other side of the question. For instance, look here. The whole world has gone after him. Did all the world go after Christ? Then went all Judea and were baptized of him in Jordan. Was all Judea or all Jerusalem baptized in Jordan? Ye are of God, little children, and the whole world lieth in the wicked one. Does the whole world there mean everybody? If so, how was it then that there were some who were of God? The words world and all are used in 7 or 8 senses in Scripture, and it is very rarely that all means all persons taken individually. The words are generally used to signify that Christ has redeemed some of all sorts, some Jews, some Gentiles, some rich, some poor, and has not restricted his redemption to either Jew or Gentile.